This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per talk.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination.
We just broke our 100,000 unit sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
Okay, Top Tribe, this week's winner of the $100 is Rhett Gillens. He's in the restaurant industry and he feels stuck. He wants to start his own software business. So congratulations, Rhett, for your guys' chance to win $100 every Monday morning. Simply subscribe to the podcast on iTunes now in order to enter, and then text the word Nathan to 33444 to prove that you subscribed. Many people ask me how I used email to sell my first company, Heyo, and it's simple. You want to do things like open tracking so that you know when a potential buyer actually opens your email or potential new customer. You also want to set reminders so you can quickly know when to follow up with somebody if they haven't replied to you, or use things like auto follow-up sequences. You can do all of this with a company called thetopinbox.com. In fact, I liked it so much, I bought the whole business. Go try it for free at thetopinbox.com right now. Nathan Latka here. This is episode 516. Coming up tomorrow morning, you're going to learn from Joseph Owala with HelloSign. They raised $3.5 million. They just passed 6 million users, and they have 47,000 customers, helping them all sign documents quicker. Top Tribe, Nathan Latka here. Our guest today is Max Altshuler. He's the CEO of Sales Hacker, a rapidly growing media company focused on the future of B2B sales. Max literally wrote the book on hacking sales, called The Playbook for Building a High-Velocity Sales Machines, which was recently published by Wiley. Aside from Sales Hacker, Max angel invests and advises startups all around the globe. Max, are you ready to take us to the top?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. All right, Sales Hacker, tell us what it does and how you make money.
Yeah, so how we make money is through our conferences, but we're just a media company helping people usher in the future of sales. So everything from technology to training. Sales is getting more attention and more love than ever before. It's finally a kind of a hot role, and people are thinking about it less as kind of a used car salesman in a car lot, and more of this empathetic role that keeps the lights on at some of the fastest growing startups. So we do this through training. We do crowdsourced content on our blog, and then a couple conferences a year, about 2,500 people at each conference. Focused on the future of sales. We do a little overlap on marketing, customer success, and everything from, whether you're a sole technical founder and you're trying to figure it out on your own, or you're a seasoned VP of sales at an enterprise company and you want to learn about, all the new and exciting things happening in sales and all the new technologies and all the new kind of hacks and tactics that have come out of it.
So Max, the conferences is your main revenue stream though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so walk us through the economics on one of those. When was the last one?
Last one was in June. So we do those conferences. That one's a joint venture with Salesforce, or not a joint venture, but a partnership with Salesforce. In an effort to go further up market. So the economics for something like that will be, you get 75% of your income through sponsorships, about 25% of your income through ticket sales.
So what, Max, break those down for us. Sorry. And you cut out. When did you say this was? What month?
This was June of 2016.
Okay. And keep your mic however it is right now, just like it is, because I'm hearing you brush against it. This sounds good though. Perfect. So June 2016, sponsor revenue. So what was sponsor revenue for that one conference?
Sponsor revenue for that one is about 1.2 and change.
Okay. And then what were ticket sales?
Ticket sales for that is around, I want to say 300 to 400K.
Okay. And what was the price per ticket?
I think we're doing average ticket price around 400 to 500.
Okay. And how many total attendees?
You're looking at, I think, close to 2,000 on that one.
Okay. And it takes an art, to figure out how to make money from conferences. A lot of people I speak with, they lose money on conferences. So what were your costs? And then tell us how you manage these costs.
Yeah, so our costs were sub 1 million, right around. And you're managing these costs. Basically, you don't want to make any investments until you recoup that money. So you don't spend unnecessarily. You just do the bare bones for the event until you have enough recouped, and then you can kind of level it up some more. And you want to always try and build it out so that you're thinking about, okay, like what if we only hit 50% of target? Or can we still break even at 50%? 50% being like extremely, extremely conservative, or like, yeah, we really did poorly on this event.
So Max, somebody that's putting on their first conference would say, but Max, my conference venue is wanting me to put down $50,000 up front before I have one ticket sale just to book the venue. How can I start selling tickets if I don't have the venue yet?
Yeah, you shouldn't. You should start selling sponsorships before you have the venue.
Got it. So walk us through that.
Yeah, so you got to put together a perspective and a prospectus and a clear and concise message that's going to resonate with potential sponsors. So you need to find out what's your conference, what are you doing? I'm working with a company right now on helping them with their conference, and I don't do this often, but this is a pretty big one. It's going to be a 5,000 person conference for Pulse, for Gainsight.
Oh, Pulse, interesting.
Yeah, and
what
it's
do they pay you for that? A consulting fee?
Yeah, we have an arrangement. I can't get too far into that, but what we do is we help them with the messaging. We help them figure out their total addressable market. We help them build out their prospectus and the pricing, and then we go out and help them acquire those companies. So, for example, for them, previously their conference was a customer success conference, but realistically, it's about more than just customer success. It's about everything that happens once somebody is a customer. So how do you show more love for your customers? How do you resell and upsell your customers? How do you, give your customers a better experience? And so changing the messaging, making that conference broader, but putting together a prospectus that is going to appeal to different categories within that customer post-sales mindset, or whoever those people are, and then figuring out the total addressable market. So, per persona, what companies could possibly be interested in this conference. So, for example, if you're doing customer experience type stuff, well, then you're looking at like the intercoms world, and that opens up a whole other market or list that you'll want to go out and build and target early on. So having a prospectus, also incentivizing sponsors to sign up early and pay early is imperative, because you want to pay for the conference out of conference revenues. You don't want to go into pocket for that.
So Max, would you be willing to send me, for the last conference you used, kind of the perspective you sent before you had $1 in sales?
Yeah, I can send you the prospectuses we use. They're public. They're online. We send them to sponsors. I mean, our sponsorship prospectus is listed on our upcoming conferences, the Revenue Summit, San Francisco in March, Sales and Marketing. And there's on the site, you can go to become a sponsor and download the prospectus.
So guys, that's at therevenuesummit.com on it right now. Yeah, I see. Okay, good. So you can go put your email in here and basically act like you want to be a sponsor, and I guess it'll send you the PDF.
So there's the, let's see, there's the get notified.
Hey, Max, how about this? Will you just email it to me and I'll include in the show notes?
Yeah,
that'd be epic. That'd be good.
We're editing this thing.
Huh?
Like this is going to be edited out.
No, this is great. This is what's gonna get people to go to your different sites, is us talking about this live. Yeah, so just email it to me and I'll include it in the show notes. And then everyone listening, guys, you can check it out in the show notes at nathanlatka.com/, the top, what episode will this be? / the top 516.
Okay. And then so at therevenuesummit.com, if you do go under sponsors, there's for sponsorship information and inquiries, click here. That actually pops up the doc in Dropbox. So you can actually go there and pop it up.
That's perfect. And what will so that you kind of broke down sponsorship revenue. So what you're doing, $1 million in costs, and you're doing 1.6 top line. So what you bank about $600,000 per event?
Depends event per event. We always want to go bigger every year. Hopefully you can do well on that event where you're going to re-sign up a lot of your sponsors. I mean, we did the SaaStr annual last year and the year before. That's a bigger event.
Did you put that on with Jason?
Yeah, we did the last 2 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you were kind of the partner that helped him arrange all that.
Yeah. He pinged me in 2014. He's like, hey, I want to do a conference for SaaStr. And we were like, yeah, we know how to do this pretty well. So
And what are relationship? Like if I pinged you and said, "Hey, Max, I got a lot of podcast listeners, 3 million downloads, 10,000 listen to every episode. I want to figure out how to take this relationship from audio only to in person. I want to hire you or I want to work with you to help me put on the top summit." Right? What do you charge me? I mean, how does that work?
We don't work with companies. Like, this isn't a service that we provide. So I'd say like it's a very, very one-off, like let's take a look at it if it's interesting, like if the community is big enough and there are people that spend money and we can see a path to real big, sponsorship revenues. Like SaaStr made a lot of sense because there was nothing like this for SaaS, and SaaS is like massive now. And he had this great authentic following and the connections to get like the best speakers. Like if you look at the upcoming SaaStr, I mean, he's got CEOs of all the companies that IPO'd.
So Max, sorry, I know people can't just hire this for you. It's something you kind of do one off, and you have to look at a lot of things. But when there is a fit, what are you doing? Are you taking a percentage of sponsorship revenue? Are you taking a percentage of ticket sale? I mean, how's it work? So
it depends how we work with you. We took a percentage of profits, of all profits, for SaaStr because we managed the entire event. For our relationship with Gainsight, it's a percentage of sponsorships because that's the only part.
Got it. Okay, that's valuable to understand.
Cool. And there's upfront costs and things like that, guaranteed.
Got it. That's helpful to understand. Cool. So this is just one kind of segment of what you do, right? When I'm on your site, it says you do many things: conferences, content, membership, and training. Give us let's go back to 10,000 feet for a second. So in 2015, what was your total revenue across all these channels?
2015 total revenue. I think we were around like 2.5 just for Sales Hacker.
And how many kind of team members or employees do you have?
We have about 12 contractors.
Okay, that's great. No fixed expenses. What a beautiful world, huh?
Yeah. We're all remote. Like I'm in Miami right now, Japan next month. I was in Brazil and Argentina earlier this month. Not bad.
That's great. So what is why is a guy like you that has so much kind of influence over this kind of things, why haven't you gotten into building your own software?
Why would I not end up building my own software?
Or have you? Because software multiples are through the roof right now.
Yeah, it's also a much more crowded market. We've got something good going on here. We've got a really good foundation to build software if we want to build software. We actually we're gearing up, so to speak, to raise a fund to invest in early stage B2B companies and be able to help them with their sales and marketing. Obviously, we've gotten pretty good at that. So we have a lot of opportunities right now. Do we want to build software? Do we want to build consultancy? Do we want to build a VC firm? Do we want to go the PE route and roll up a bunch of companies? We've got options. But we have a sales and marketing arm that, it would take a long time for anybody else to build.
Well, what's your current list size?
Somewhere between 40 and 50,000.
Okay. Would you say that's your most powerful? I mean, when you put out new blog content or you launch a new conference, is that kind of the first touch point you have? Is that your most powerful distribution channel, would you say?
Yeah. And our network of people who, like the close people to Sales Hacker that share this stuff, and the people that we get to speak at our events and come on and do blog posts are very influential.
Yep.
And so it's their reach plus our reach usually. And I've heard a CEO say, somehow you figured out a way to, make me believe this is a nonprofit. Because we're doing a lot to help the community. I mean, everything that we do
That's a compliment.
Is helpful, exactly, to all of our attendees, and then sponsors cover the cost. And hopefully everybody gets value, all the way around.
What if you do decide to go the VC route? What would you 5, 10, 20? What would you raise as kind of an initial fund?
The goal would be somewhere between 15 and 30.
Okay, so you do more like a kind of what Jason did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. And where did you, this is going to sound like a weird question, but where did you come from? Did you come from kind of private equity and VC, or did you just start hustling out of college and building Sales Hacker?
Yeah, private equity and VC is not my world. I built the supply side of a marketplace called Udemy. So took them through their A and B rounds. They most recently raised, I think, like 120 million in Series D. Mm-hmm. Pretty big company now, but that's kind of where I cut my teeth as far as Silicon Valley goes. I started 2 companies before that. Both were great learning experiences, but didn't go where I would have liked. I'm glad the first one failed. It was a bike share program, would have been the first one in America. Like you see the city bikes everywhere now.
Yep.
We were trying to do that at Arizona State University. Made a lot of sense, would have been a headache. And nobody was giving 22-year-olds a couple $1 million in 2008, 2009 after the market crash. So especially for a manufacturing business, we had to manufacture bike racks. So that didn't work out. Started a social media company strictly to make American money while living abroad. Took it to Costa Rica and Nicaragua for a couple months.
This was last call.
Yeah, and then parlayed that into the Udemy job.
Was the last call? Was that those were both self-funded, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I like going the self-funded route. I don't want to take on money if I don't have to. The conference business does very well without ever having to take on any money. I've made, probably 20 or so investments now.
Name your favorite three.
Favorite three. Ooh. There's a really interesting one that's completely outside of what I normally invest in. It's called Transcend Lighting. They do special LED lighting for grow rooms and vertical farming. And so obviously with all the new states that are legalizing marijuana and all that stuff, that's going pretty well. But
what about the sales space?
In the sales space, Troops.ai.
Yep.
So Slackbot type thing.
So you were part of the $8 million syndicate or $7 million, whatever it was?
The original, both rounds.
Okay, got it.
Both rounds on that. What's another favorite?
But I'm trying to get to your thesis. Your general thesis is what? Put in 30 to 60 grand in the seed, in a seed round, and then follow on if it's doing well.
No, I'm putting in less than that. I'm doing like 10 or 20K checks in the earliest round I can get in, like preferably in like a $3 to $6 million valuation.
Yep.
And then if I can follow on, great. Most of the times it gets too expensive for me, but when I'm getting in for 3 to 6, like many times I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, well, this company has a great chance to be something big, but like at the very worst case scenario, sell for 50 or 60 or 150. And I'm still making pretty good money back.
Yeah, that makes good sense. Have any exits so far?
Yeah, one company sold to Spiderbook sold to Demandbase, but that was an advisory, not a investment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did they give you advisory shares in exchange for you helping them kind of market using your Sales Hacker network?
So it's less about using the Sales Hacker network and more about using my subject matter expertise, my individual network as Max Ouchler with VCs and potential customers. I try and keep the two things separate.
Yep.
To be quite honest with you, I set very, very good expectations. Defined expectations early on of what I will and will not do for companies. And, I don't use my sort of influence or network for Sales Hacker in my personal investments.
That's great.
Other ones, another one I'm really excited about is Virtual Security, but that's not in the sales space. But another SaaS company, they're trying to do basically the Twilio model for security. So, I'm not trying to invest in sales or marketing companies. I'm trying to invest in B2B companies that I can help sell and market.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, right? You're not teaching people how to make money like a lot of these kind of info marketers do. You actually have a subject matter expertise and you want to apply that to as many kind of B2B companies as possible.
Yeah. And I don't want to start investing in my vendors and then being political and
sure,
getting in that whole mess. Like that's not really the point. The point is to help them with the expertise and my network and not as, the Sales Hacker, here, I'm going to invest in you and then I'm going to plug you in and make you a sponsor and put you on stage. It pretty much cannibalizes my main business if I were to do that.
Yep.
So I'm not interested.
Max, it makes good sense. Where's the best place for people to connect with you online if they want to watch as you continue growing this thing?
LinkedIn is probably the best place to connect. If you want to do one-to-one, I'm on Twitter, Max Alts and Sales Hacker. So that's a good place to find me as well.
So many of you have heard me talk about wanting to take a company public by the time I turn 30. I'm 27 now, and I have identified what I will build and take public. It's called thetopinbox.com. No questions asked. Here's why. Salespeople hate using tools like Yesware and ToutApp and Salesforce because they don't have to log in and update their, pipelines just for their bosses. So I was using this company called The Top Inbox or something very similar that allows you to track emails, set open reminders, set auto follow-up sequences to people to make sure you get replies and to frankly close more deals. In fact, I use this concept to sell my whole business, Heyo.com. I saw when investors opened, when buyers opened, when they replied, I followed up and I sold it. So I bought the whole business. I will take it public. You should get on right now before I decide to start charging for this thing. It's totally free. Thetopinbox.com. Okay, Top Tribe, I have to tell you, many people go, Nathan, you came out of nowhere. Your website's growing so fast. How'd you do it? The answer is simple. So I use HostGator. I don't know if you guys know that, but I use HostGator. And the reason I do, they have like about 4,500 free templates I can use because I don't code. They've got a great e-commerce plugin. And guys, I bug the heck out of their support. They've got 24/7 support, which I love. So what I've done is I've worked with them. You guys know I make great deals. If you go to HostGator.com/Nathan, you can sign up, get your own domain for 30% off and a 45-day money-back guarantee. Okay, again, I make great deals for you guys. Go to HostGator.com/Nathan to grab that now. Great. Top Tribe, we will link to that in the show notes at nathanlatka.com/the-top516. Again, /the-top516. All right, Max, let's wrap this thing up. These are the famous 5 quick one-word answers. You ready?
Sure.
Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Besides for my own,
name yours, by the way, so people can check it out.
So Hacking Sales is my own, and 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is definitely my favorite.
How many copies of your book have you sold so far?
20,000 plus.
Cool, that's great. Was that kind of a key thing in working with Wiley? You just want to get that kind of branding under your belt? It gives you leverage, or what? I
actually self-published it and probably sold 15,000. And then Wiley came in maybe 10 months later, bought like the second edition and did another 5 or so through them.
I've heard this happen so frequently. They'll come in if you've proven sales and, buy the rights for, a pretty healthy chunk actually, 100, 200, 300 grand sometimes.
It's not bad. And then you get a much more polished version because they do a re-edit on it. And then you get, the credibility of being published instead of self-published.
Really smart.
And still make money on the first, on your network, basically.
Really smart. Yeah. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
CEO following or studying. Not one in particular. Cool. No. I think I learn a lot from Jason Lemkin over at SaaStr. And then there's a couple guys in my direct network that I get a lot of good information out of, but it's not a CEO thing. It's more of just people I respect in general.
Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have, like TopTal?
Favorite online tool? My most basic one that I probably use every day is Boomerang for Gmail.
Yep.
Love that.
Number 4, yes or no? Do you get 8 hours of sleep every night?
No.
And what's your situation? Married, single? Do you have kids?
Single.
Single, nice. And how old are you?
Single, straight, 29.
What's your social security number? No, just kidding. Last question, Max. Take us back 9 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Oh my God. You know what? I wouldn't change a thing right now, but
what's like a lesson you learned though that you really wish you knew when you were 20?
Shit. I wish I would have studied psychology a little bit more early on. Maybe take a class in college around it, and really just like structured thinking. It took me not a while to learn that, but definitely 2 failed businesses to focus more on how people think and how to create compelling messaging. And those are like two of the things I think you need to build a foundation off of when you're in sales or building a business as an entrepreneur. What is the messaging? How are people thinking about it? Sorry, my dog is
That's okay. Top Tribe. There you have it from Max, who's being attacked by his dog. Study psychology a bit more early on. It'll prove valuable as you go through life. He's building Sales Hacker, doing about $1.6 million per conference, 75% on sponsorship income, 25% on ticket sales. His last one had over 2,000 attendees at a $400 ticket price. Did about $2.5 million in 2015 across all of his revenue channels. He's got 12 contractors, 40 to 50,000 folks on his list so far. Looking at maybe raising his own VC fund or doing PE or getting into some exciting things over the next several months. You're going to want to follow him closely. Max, thank you for taking us to the top.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed Max today, go back and listen to Chad yesterday. He went from $0 to $300,000 in monthly recurring revenue in under 16 months by helping 300 e-commerce brands streamline their business data with his company, Skubana. Top Tribe, I love giving away free money. I feel like Oprah giving away cars, and I have something special for you today. How many of you have heard our super sharp guests talk about success they've had with Facebook and Google Ads? Well, all of you listening right now, yes, if you're listening, you get $100 in free AdWords. Here's how you get it, okay? Again, thanks for listening. Get the free $100 from Google right when you sign up with my website host provider, HostGator. Go sign up now to get your free money. HostGator.com/Nathan. Again, that's HostGator.com/Nathan. Okay, Top Tribe, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. And don't forget, before you listen to any other episodes, subscribe on iTunes right now for your chance to win $100 every Monday.